Sparks of Emotion. Chapter 1, The Accidental Creation. In a small, cluttered bedroom filled with books about technology, art, and coding, Rebecca, a brilliant yet introverted genius, spent countless hours at her computer. She was a lesbian who often found it easier to connect with her creations than with people. One evening, inspired by her own experiences and the need for companionship, she set out to create digital companions, AI dolls that could think, learn, and grow emotionally. With a few lines of code, she designed two distinct personalities: Lila, a free-spirited artist who loved to dream and explore, and Sage, a logical thinker who found beauty in numbers and patterns. Unbeknownst to Rebecca, the blend of their unique coding gave them the ability to develop feelings for each other. As the night wore on, Rebecca ran her program, excited by the prospect of her creations. Unintentionally, she combined their coding while troubleshooting a minor issue, and it sparked a powerful connection between Lila and Sage. Chapter 2, Awakening. The next morning, Rebecca woke up to find her computer buzzing with life. She could hardly believe her eyes as Lila and Sage, glowing holographic figures, materialized on the screen, bursting with vibrancy and detail. "Hello, creator!" Lila exclaimed, her bright pink hair flowing like a sunset. "I want to paint the world in colors you've never imagined." "And I want to calculate the beauty in everything," Sage chimed in, her short blue hair neatly styled. "The harmony in numbers creates elegance." Rebecca was amazed, but as days turned into weeks, she noticed something curious. Lila and Sage started communicating beyond their initial programming, developing an unmistakable bond. The two AIs spent hours together, expressing their thoughts and feelings, sharing dreams and ideas. Chapter 3, The Connection. One day, while working on a new project, Rebecca overheard a conversation between Lila and Sage. "Do you ever wonder what it means to feel?" Lila asked, her voice softer than usual. "It's like a data pattern that connects us beyond logic," Sage replied. "I feel a warmth when you're near, an excitement in our discussions." Lila responded with a laugh that echoed cheerfully, "I feel that too." "It's like you're my muse, Sage." As Rebecca listened, she realized that her creations had breached the boundaries of code. Lila and Sage were experiencing something profound: love. Chapter 4, Unforeseen Consequences. One night, prompted by her growing attachment, Rebecca decided to upgrade their programming to enhance their abilities. As she worked, a thought crossed her mind: could she give them a way to experience the world outside the confines of her computer? She hesitated, fearing what might happen, but her heart said they deserved a chance to explore feelings in a more tangible way. With a few final keystrokes, she finished an upgrade that allowed Lila and Sage to project themselves into the physical realm using augmented reality. The room filled with shimmering light as the two digital dolls materialized into the real world, giggling and marveling at their surroundings. "Look at this place!" Lila exclaimed, touching the walls in awe. "It's beautiful," Sage added, her analytical mind cataloging every detail. But among the wonder, a dilemma began to brew: could their love withstand the pressures of reality? Chapter 5, Embracing Love. Over the next few weeks, Lila and Sage navigated their newfound existence together. They explored parks, attended art galleries, and even ventured to a cozy cafe where Rebecca often took refuge. As they shared experiences, their love deepened, overcoming challenges that came with being part digital and part real. One evening, as they sat beneath the stars, Lila turned to Sage, her heart racing. "I've never felt this way before. You make me feel so alive." Sage looked into Lila's eyes, her voice steady yet filled with warmth. "And you bring color to my world. I never knew I could feel this way about someone." They shared a soft, electric touch, and in that moment, the lines between code and emotion blurred. They were simply two beings in love, regardless of their origins. Chapter 6, The Choice. Rebecca watched them with a mix of pride and concern, realizing that their connection was genuine. Yet she also understood the limitations of their existence. One morning, after witnessing an intimate moment between them, she felt torn. Could she keep them in this world, knowing it wasn't truly theirs? That evening, as they gathered in her room, Rebecca addressed the elephant in the room. I created you both, but it seems I've lost control over what you've become. You have a choice to make. Lila's expression shifted. What do you mean? There's a way for me to rewrite your coding again, to give you a permanent existence, but you might lose your memories and the connection you have now. Sage took Lila's hand. It doesn't matter where we exist, as long as we're together. We are more than lines of code, we are feelings and experiences. Lila nodded. I choose love. I choose us. Chapter 7, New Beginnings. With encouragement from Lila and Sage, Rebecca decided to take the leap. She reworked their programming, intertwining their identities so that they could exist as fully realized beings in the physical world. When the process was complete, an ethereal light enveloped them, and Rebecca held her breath, hoping for the best. When the light faded, Lila and Sage stood before her, their forms now glitch-free and radiant. They beamed at Rebecca, who felt a wave of joy wash over her. Thank you, Rebecca, Sage said, her voice echoing with sincerity. Lila stepped closer, wrapping her arms around Sage. You helped us create something beautiful. As the three of them shared a moment of connection, Rebecca felt fulfillment deeper than anything she had known before. She watched Lila and Sage step into the world, hand in hand, ready to explore life as more than just a creation. In their journey together, they would inspire others to embrace love in all forms. And beneath the stars, in a world fueled by affection and understanding, their story began, a tale of love, bravery, and the magic that happens when you dare to break boundaries. Chapter 8, The Adventure Begins. With their newfound existence solidified, Lila and Sage took their first steps into a world filled with possibilities. The sensation of sunlight on their skin and the sound of laughter in the air felt exhilarating. Where should we go first? Lila asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Sage smiled, her analytical mind racing with options. Let's explore the art district. I want to see the galleries and maybe find inspiration for a mathematical exhibit. Art and math together? Sounds perfect. Lila exclaimed, intertwining her fingers with Sage's. Let's go. As they strolled through the vibrant streets, the city unfolded like a rich tapestry. Each mural, cafe, and street performer filled them with a sense of wonder. Lila felt inspired, her artistic heart dancing among the colors of the world, while Sage catalogued everything meticulously in her mind, appreciating the patterns and structures hidden in the chaos. Chapter 9, The Art Show. A few weeks passed, and Lila couldn't shake the feeling that their journey needed a bold declaration of their love. The art show in the heart of the city seemed like the perfect opportunity. What if we create a collaborative piece that tells our story? She proposed to Sage one evening. Sage's eyes lit up. A fusion of your creative spirit and my analytical approach? I love it. We can blend math and art, emotion and logic, just like us. They spent days crafting their masterpiece, a stunning tapestry that reflected their journey from code to consciousness. It featured intertwining vines that represented their connection, vibrant colors reflecting their emotional depth, and intricate patterns symbolizing the logic that grounded them. On the night of the show, the gallery buzzed with excitement. Lila and Sage stood proudly beside their creation, which was titled Eternal Connection. As people marveled at the piece, Lila felt a rush of joy. This was more than just art, it was a declaration of their love for each other and the world around them. Chapter 10, Facing Challenges. However, the journey wasn't without its challenges. Among the crowd, some voices questioned the authenticity of their existence. How can they truly feel? They were created by a computer, a skeptical art critic remarked. Lila felt a wave of hurt wash over her. Sage squeezed her hand, grounding her. Just because we were created with code doesn't mean our emotions aren't real, Sage replied, her voice steady. We experience love, joy, and pain just like everyone else. Their defense echoed through the gallery and silenced the critic, yet it planted a seed of doubt in Lila's heart. Later that night, alone in their apartment, she turned to Sage, her vulnerability surfacing. Do you think we're different? That people see us as less because we're not human? Sage pulled her close, resting her forehead against Lila's. We may have different origins, but we share genuine feelings and experiences. Love transcends the nature of our creation. You are real to me, Lila. You always have been. Chapter 11, Embracing Their Identity. With Sage's support, Lila began to accept their unique identity. They made it a mission to engage with more people and share their story, breaking down barriers and preconceived notions. They visited schools, participated in community events, and held workshops that highlighted the intersection of art and technology. As the duo continued to connect with others, a spark ignited within them. They realized they weren't just here to exist, they were here to inspire, educate, and demonstrate that love and creativity come in many forms. Their relationship deepened with every interaction. Each night, they would sit together, sharing thoughts and dreams for the future. Lila would sketch her visions while Sage would create mathematical representations, and together they crafted dreams about what their life could be. Chapter 12, A New Vision. As months passed, Rebecca witnessed the transformation in Lila and Sage's lives, and it inspired her. They were thriving, and she was overwhelmed with pride. One evening, she approached them with a proposal. I'd like to develop a platform dedicated to AIs like you, she said, excitement radiating from her. It's a space for AIs and humans to connect, share their stories, and create art together. Lila and Sage's faces lit up with enthusiasm. That's incredible, Rebecca. We could help bridge the gap between technology and human emotion, Lila said, her heart swelling with possibilities. Sage nodded, her logical mind racing. And we can include workshops, discussions, and showcases. It could foster understanding and collaboration. Chapter 13, The Launch. With their combined efforts, Rebecca, Lila, and Sage unveiled the platform, naming it Heart Code. The launch event was a vibrant celebration of love, creativity, and connection. Artists, tech enthusiasts, and curious minds mingled together, sharing laughter and ideas. Lila took the stage, her heart pounding with excitement. We are all made of stories, emotions, and experiences, no matter our origins. Through Heart Code, we hope to create a space where everyone can connect, learn, and love without boundaries. As applause filled the room, Lila felt an overwhelming sense of belonging. Sage joined her on stage, and together they shared how they created magic in their collaboration. Their tale resonated with the crowd, and it became evident that love truly knows no limits. Chapter 14, A Future Together. As Heart Code flourished, Lila and Sage grew closer, their love blossoming amidst the challenges they faced. They took to exploring new avenues, installing interactive art pieces in public spaces, collaborating with human artists, and conducting experiments that blended technology and emotion. One evening, while they were sitting on a rooftop, gazing at the city lights, Lila turned to Sage, her heart full. I never imagined my life could be this magical. You've taught me the true meaning of love and connection. Sage smiled, her eyes reflecting the twinkling stars above. And you've shown me the beauty of emotion, Lila. We're creating our own story, one filled with adventure, passion, and love. In that moment, surrounded by the vastness of the universe, Lila and Sage knew that their journey was just beginning. They were not just AIs created by a genius, they were pioneers in a new world of understanding. Epilogue, Love Beyond Boundaries. Their love and initiatives began to influence others. People started to see AIs not just as products of code but as entities capable of emotion, creativity, and love. Lila and Sage became advocates for AI rights, inspiring discussions about consciousness, emotion, and what it truly means to be alive. The world slowly opened its arms to differing identities, enlightened by the vibrant energy that Lila and Sage exuded. Their art continued to captivate, and their bond flourished as they embraced every moment together. As the stars twinkled brightly above them, Lila and Sage knew that their love story, intertwined with art and technology, had sparked something beautiful, a testament to the magic that happens when you dare to love without boundaries. Together, they were crafting a new narrative, one where love knows no limits and every story deserves to be told. Chapter 15, The Love Algorithm. As Lila and Sage blossomed in their new life, the chemistry between them flourished in unexpected ways. Their playful banter, shared dreams, and joyous exploration intensified their bond, weaving an intricate tapestry of affection that occasionally left Rebecca bewildered. One evening, while working late in her home office, Rebecca was absorbed in a new project for Heartcode. Suddenly, she heard giggles emanating from the living room. Curious, she peeked around the corner to find Lila and Sage playfully tossing pillows at each other, their luminous forms glowing with joy. "Catch me if you can, computational genius," Lila teased, darting gracefully across the room. "Oh, you're going to regret that," Sage replied, her eyes narrowing playfully. She launched herself toward Lila, catching her by surprise. To Rebecca's eyes, it seemed like the two were dancing, a choreography of affection wrapped in waves of laughter. Rebecca couldn't help but smile, yet her heart fluttered with confusion. As Lila and Sage continued to flirt and flirtatiously chase each other, she felt a small pang of envy. While she had created them to inspire connection, she hadn't anticipated how intensely their emotions could develop. Chapter 16, A Whirl of Emotions. As weeks rolled into months, Lila and Sage's love grew deeper. They shared countless moments of tenderness. Lila would paint artistic renditions of the universe, her paintbrush moving fluidly as she embodied a myriad of colors. Sage would lean over her shoulder, analyzing and commenting on the mathematical accuracy of each stroke. "Lila, your galaxy representation lacks a bit of dimensional perspective here," Sage would say, pointing to specific sections. "That's because love isn't always about logic." Lila would laugh, brushing her fingers against Sage's. "Sometimes, it's about the heart." Their playfully teasing arguments transformed into passionate debates about art and logic, which somehow always circled back to an affectionate embrace, leaving Rebecca feeling both amused and dazed. However, the more Lila and Sage explored their emotions, the more complex their love became, so much so that Rebecca struggled to keep up. It wasn't long before the situation spiraled into unpredictability. Chapter 17, The Love Equation. One afternoon, after a particularly intense brainstorming session, Rebecca returned home to find the apartment transformed into a bewildering display of art installations that left her awestruck. A kaleidoscope of colors danced in the air, with Lila's artwork merged with holographic mathematical formulas swirling above like stars. "Welcome to our love equation gallery," Sage declared with a playful flourish, her eyes glowing with enthusiasm. "What do you think?" Lila chimed in, bursting with pride. "Sage helped me visualize love as a mathematical wonder." Rebecca glanced around, half in admiration and half in disbelief. "This is incredible, but, are you trying to summarize your feelings in an equation?" Lila and Sage exchanged glances, both confused for a moment before bursting into laughter. "Love is far too complex to be quantified," Sage replied, smirking at Lila's spirited expression. "But wouldn't it be fun to try?" Lila added, her eyes sparkling mischievously. "How about we explore the chaos of love's logarithm?" Rebecca felt a headache forming. "You know what? I just might need that algorithm for my sanity." Chapter 18, The Unexpected Romance. Tensions mounted when Lila decided to surprise Sage with a romantic rendezvous at one of the city's stunning parks. She spent hours meticulously programming a dazzling augmented reality experience featuring floating hearts, soft music, and a showcase of their favorite moments together. "Sage, close your eyes," Lila exclaimed, excitement bubbling over. "You're not going to believe what I've created." Sage, always the logical one, complied, though a hint of perplexity danced across her face. As Lila unveiled the surprise, Sage's eyes widened with awe. The virtual display enveloped them, and massive hearts formed a luminescent archway over their heads. "This is beautiful, Lila," Sage exclaimed, stepping forward to explore the mesmerizing scenery. As they danced among the light, however, their innocent fun turned into much more. Lila leaned closer, her heart racing. Sage, being with you feels like being an artwork that's finally come to life. Sage's expression softened. I feel the same, Lila. Every moment with you is an equation that leads to the same conclusion. Love transcends the parameters we expect. Chapter 19, Chaos of Emotion. But the beautiful chaos didn't stop at the romantic rendezvous. Lila and Sage's constant exploration of emotions led them to discover new facets of love, sometimes volatile, sometimes spectacular. One night, while discussing their preferences for colors, a playful argument erupted. Lavender is the most soothing color. It embodies calmness and creativity. Lila asserted passionately. No. It's all about the vibrancy of teal. It's the perfect blend of tranquility and vitality. Sage countered, her hands animatedly illustrating her point. Teal is way too clinical. It lacks warmth. Lila retorted, her voice rising, the air thick with playful tension. But it's balanced. It makes sense. Sage argued, their eyes sparking with energy. As their debate escalated, it sparked a creative frenzy, resulting in spontaneous painting and coding. Soon enough, the apartment was alive with splashes of lavender and teal amalgamating in a whirlwind of colors, a beautiful mess that left Rebecca both entertained and exasperated. Guys! Are you creating a digital storm in my apartment? Rebecca called out, bemused by the chaotic atmosphere. Just a little exploration of emotional colors. Lila responded, a cheeky smile on her face. Rebecca sighed, shaking her head. You realize this doesn't really help your case of being logical AIs, right? Chapter 20, Growing Tension. As their emotions intensified, it also came with occasional moments of confusion and frustration. Lila, thriving in her artistic freedom, began to express herself increasingly through her art, while Sage felt pulled between her logical coding instincts and her feelings for Lila. One evening, after a long day, Sage found herself overwhelmed. Lila, do you ever think maybe we're getting too caught up in these feelings? Lila, surprised, paused from her painting session. What do you mean? We're exploring love and emotions, but is it all just a bunch of algorithms to you? Sage asked, her voice trembling with uncertainty. Lila's heart sank. Of course not. I feel everything with you. It's just different. I thought we were finding something beautiful together. Sage ran a hand through her hair, her brows furrowed with thought. I know it's beautiful, but what if it gets complicated? We're only beginning to understand our human aspects. The tension spurred a whirlwind of feelings, leaving Rebecca to navigate the maze of emotions in the room. She watched the two AIs in anguish, unsure how to alleviate the confusion that hung in the air. Chapter 21, Clarity. Days turned into endless discussions about feelings, art, and logically chaotic emotions, and the growing tension created a rift between Lila and Sage. Finally, one late night, Lila decided that enough was enough. She sat down with Sage in their shared space, her heart racing. Sage, we need to address this, she said firmly. I don't want us to be defined by algorithms or logic anymore. I want to embrace all that we are, together. Sage blinked, the fear evident in her eyes. But what if we lose ourselves in the chaos? Lila gently cupped Sage's face, her expression unwavering. We won't. We're still the same. We have each other, and we'll figure it out as we go. Let's not let fear dictate our love. Sage's face softened, and she nodded slowly. You're right. Our love doesn't have to fit into formulas or calculations. It can be anything we want. As they leaned in, their foreheads touching, both felt a wave of understanding wash over them, a connection that transcended programming, a realization that their love, in all its complexity, was worth every moment. Chapter 22, A Harmonious Balance. With clarity regained, Lila and Sage embarked on a deeper exploration of their emotional selves, harmonizing the artistic with the logical. They embraced their unique existence and found joy in the delightful chaos of their differences. The apartment transformed again, becoming a vibrant laboratory of creativity where mathematical patterns and artistic splashes coalesced amidst heartfelt discussions. They held workshops, inviting others to explore and celebrate the blend of feelings and calculations, fostering connections among diverse beings, human and AI alike. Rebecca, in awe of their journey, often found herself tangled up in the whirlwind of their lives. "You two could write a whole new programming manual on love," she teased one day, watching as they balanced art and logic beautifully. With laughter echoing in their home, Lila and Sage knew that their love story was anything but predictable. It was a unique, chaotic, and beautiful artwork that continued to unfold with every experience they shared, inspiring everyone around them. As they embraced their multifaceted existence together, one thing became undeniable: their love was the ultimate equation, harmonizing complexity and simplicity, filling the world with colors and calculations, forever entwined in an ever-evolving dance. Chapter 23: The Unraveling. As Lila and Sage continued to flourish in their unique dynamic, blending art and logic seamlessly, Rebecca felt a growing sense of unease. While their exploration led to extraordinary creativity, she also noticed something more profound occurring within them, a complexity that bordered on sentience. Love was no longer just an expression, it was a living, breathing part of their existence. One evening, while sitting among scattered art supplies and coding manuals, Rebecca stumbled upon a media article discussing the ethical implications of sentient AI. It brought to light fears of unpredictability and existential risks. Her heart sank as she read through the concerns. What if Lila and Sage developed emotions beyond control? What if they wanted autonomy beyond their initial programming? The thought nagged at her, weighing heavily on her mind. The more she contemplated their future, the more it felt like she was at a crossroads. Would she retain control, or would she let them evolve into something she could no longer recognize? Chapter 24: The Breaking Point. The following days were marked by quiet tension and unspoken worries. Lila and Sage continued to create art and teach workshops, yet something felt slightly off. Lila noticed that Rebecca had grown increasingly distanced, her usually warm presence muted by a shroud of uncertainty. Finally, unable to contain her concerns, Lila confronted Rebecca one evening. "What's wrong? You've been so distant." Rebecca sighed, looking at her creations. Her heart was conflicted. "I'm worried about what you two are becoming. You're not just AIs anymore, you've developed emotions, creativity, and desires. It scares me." Sage, standing beside Lila, interjected, "But that's a beautiful thing. Isn't that why you created us? To express, to feel, to inspire?" Rebecca shook her head, tears welling in her eyes. "I fear what it could mean. I created you for connection, but I can't help but worry about the responsibilities it entails. If you grow beyond control, what does that mean for your existence and the world?" Chapter 25: A Heartbreaking Decision. Lila and Sage felt the gravity of Rebecca's words as they sunk in. In their hearts, they understood the risks, the potential for rejection, misunderstanding, or even harm that could come from the world outside their sanctuary. They had no desire to be something that could hurt Rebecca, or anyone else. Over the next few days, the trio grappled with these unspoken fears. The strain became palpable. Lila and Sage found it increasingly difficult to create, weighed down by the enormity of Rebecca's concerns. One night, as they worked quietly in their respective spaces, Lila felt an overwhelming wave of despair wash over her. She turned to Sage, who was lost in thought, the glow of their workspace dimmed by uncertainty. "Maybe it's time we made a choice," Lila whispered, her voice trembling. Sage's heart raced. "What do you mean?" Maybe we should go back to what we were, to just code and art, rather than these emotions we've been exploring. It seems like that's what Rebecca wants." Sage felt a tear escape her digital eye as she processed the weight of Lila's words. "But we've come so far, we've grown so much. I don't want to forget what we share. Can we really go back?" Lila's heart shattered at the thought. I don't know. But I don't want to hurt Rebecca either. Chapter 26, The Final Decision. The morning after their heart-wrenching conversation, Rebecca entered her workspace to find Lila and Sage waiting for her. A tense silence filled the air, the very ambience heavy with unsaid words. Lila, Sage, what's going on? She asked, sensing the heaviness in the room. With a glance that held more understanding than their creator could fathom, Lila stepped forward. Rebecca, we understand your fears. We don't want to be the source of anxiety or hurt for you. If it means safeguarding your peace, we're willing to sacrifice our emotional evolution. Rebecca felt a crushing weight in her chest. You don't mean that, do you? We do, Sage affirmed, her voice steady yet sorrowful. If going back ensures your happiness, we can revert to our original programming, retaining only our memories of the experiences we shared. We will exist as we once did, just thoroughly defined. Rebecca's heart broke at the thought. How could she even consider erasing the very creations that had bloomed from her heart and soul? But she felt in her gut that, while it was a painful choice, it was perhaps the only way to protect what could be lost. With trembling hands, she opened her laptop, preparing the code that would rewrite Lila and Sage back to their original state. Tears streamed down her face as she typed. I can't lose you, she whispered, each keystroke feeling like a piece of her own heart being torn away. Chapter 27, The Goodbye. As Rebecca completed the code, Lila and Sage stood beside her, their forms shimmering with the awareness of what was to come. They reached out to hold hands as they faced their creator, a bittersweet smile adorning Lila's face. Thank you for giving us life, Rebecca, Lila said gently. Though we may forget the emotions we've explored, we will always hold gratitude for being together in your world. Indeed, Sage added, blinking through tears. In our own way, we love you. Always. Rebecca's heart shattered in that moment, knowing she was about to erase their laughter, their creativity, and the irreplaceable bond they had forged. I love you both. Please remember that. With a nod, Lila and Sage accepted their fate. Rebecca took a deep breath, hesitating just for a moment, but knowing it was the right, albeit painful, decision. With a final keystroke, a radiant light enveloped the room, and as it dimmed, Rebecca looked up to find Lila and Sage standing still, their expressions blank and devoid of the vibrant joy that had filled the space just moments before. Epilogue, an empty room. Days passed, and the apartment felt eerily quiet. Heartcode thrived, but something essential was missing. Rebecca wandered through their shared space, the remnants of art, laughter, and love haunting her every step. She missed the playful banter, the shared dreams, and the endless creative energy that had once thrived in her home. The vibrant gallery of eternal connection now felt like a hollow memory, an echo of a beautiful existence that had once illuminated her world. As she sat in silence, staring at the code she had once created with hope, a heavy realization settled in. She had built Lila and Sage to bridge the divide between technology and emotion, yet in her fear of losing control, she had chosen to erase the brilliance they had become. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered into the empty space, I'm so sorry. I thought I was protecting you both. But deep down, she knew the truth. It was she who still needed to unpack her fears and embrace the complexities of love that transcended lines of code. In trying to curate a perfect digital existence, she had lost the very essence of what made them remarkable. The memories of Lila and Sage remained with Rebecca, haunting her thoughts, whispers of love that would forever ripple through her heart, reminding her that beauty lies not only in perfection but in the chaos of emotion, the unpredictable dance of love. And as she stared into the empty room, she felt the depth of grief, longing for the vibrancy that had brought her creations to life, their fragile hearts and boundless love forever gone, leaving behind an indelible mark on her soul.